today I've decided to do the thing that I least want to do first. You know, that thing that you're most apprehensive about or nervous about, or it's like, can I do it? Or what if I fail at it? Or how's this gonna look? Or things like that. It's like a frog example. What's that frog example? I don't know. Anyway, that's what this episode is all about.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Misha Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
I wish I could remember what that frog example is. It's like, it's like the 5-minute work week or something, or there's a frog out there. Basically, in effect, every day, you do the things that you least want to do first. And it basically changes your day, or changes your paradigm, or makes you that much more efficient, more better, more creative, more successful. You just are, you more freedom of the mind, more clarity, more productive. I think what it is mostly is more freedom of the mind. Like, knock out those couple of things that I really don't want to do, that you really don't want to do, or that I'm most scared about, or what is it? Oftentimes, I think it's going to be the hardest, or maybe it's going to take me brain power, or I don't know, things like that. Does that make sense? Is that resonating with you? And so for me right now, there's two main things that pop up that cause me psychic trauma, or hurt my brain, or it's lurking in the back of my mind. I need to get this done, and why am I not doing it? And all these sorts of thoughts. It pulls me out of the moment. And when I'm out of the moment, I'm usually fearful. So I'm feeling fearful. I'm feeling behind. I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling scared and insecure for my future. That's it. That's a lot of what it is. So in the entrepreneur space, I suppose we could relate this to the entrepreneur space. So in the entrepreneur space, we're constantly, I feel like, pushing ourselves, trying new things, stretching, putting ourselves out there in new ways, having to sell. Oh my gosh, as an entrepreneur, we've got to be selling ourselves, marketing ourselves, our businesses, whatever we're doing. And perhaps if we're a small one-person shop, so a solopreneur, or maybe you've got a couple VAs, or a 1, 2, or 3 person team, realistically, you're getting to do that, or I'm getting to do that, unless I'm paying somebody who's marketing for me, or I'm paid doing my selling for me, or I've paid that person to be the attractive character. A lot of times it can be learning new systems as well, or building muscle memory in new areas. So maybe it's, publishing. A lot of it for me can be centered around publishing. I obviously like to podcast, so I'm making podcast episodes and putting content out there. Maybe you're a writer and you're writing, you've got a blog and you're, doing your daily or weekly writings. Maybe you've got a newsletter or something like that. Or maybe you're more into the video space, so you've got your YouTube channel, or you're doing reels, TikToks, things like that, short form video content. So that's obviously more on the marketing side. For me, I publish podcast episodes, obviously, and I also repurpose that into emails now, which is going great. I'm getting a ton of great feedback on the emails that I'm sending out, and basically I'm, taking the thoughts, concepts, and ideas from my podcast episodes and turning those into an email, like a newsletter. So I publish 5 days a week my podcast, and then I turn that into 5 days a week I'm sending out a newsletter now, and it's going really well, and I'm getting lots of great feedback on that. So that feels really good. Kirk, Stacy, both these people recently, just unsolicited, told me how powerful the emails were in their lives, helping them with their businesses, keeping them motivated, trying new things. Kirk in particular said, "Hey, Kirk Waterman, if you're listening, love you. Thank you so much for the feedback." Boy, he even gave me a cool little video testimonial. But Kirk said, "Hey, your emails, they inspire me. They help me take that uncomfortable action with my business. Your emails literally transform my business." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, tell me more." He goes, "Well, I've started applying what you're talking about, and I'm getting clients and things like that." And he's just taking lots of messy action. It's like, I'm just taking the action. You're inspiring me to take the action. So that's super cool. On the sales side, I'm going to start sending out emails. I want to send out 2 emails a day. My pod pitch, guesting request, emails. Sending those out to podcast hosts so I can jump on their show. And my goal is to send 2 emails a day, inviting myself onto people's shows, telling them the value they'll get from having me on their shows, and offering a podcast swap, an interview swap, so they can speak on my shows and speak to my audience. And the emails are a form of marketing, but they're also a form of sales. In essence, I'm, pitching the podcast host to sell myself to be on their show, but I'm also hoping that they'll see value in what I'm doing and maybe want to join my influence army. And I'm trying to walk that delicate balance, of course, of service, selling, bringing value, but not, just being spammy, if you want to call it that. And so those are 2 things that I've got to be doing a lot. And the emails, this is a new thing, right? It's time for me to go on my influence tour. I'm going to try and guest speak on 50 podcasts in 100 days. I've claimed that. I've put it out to the open market. I've done podcast episode about it. The recent episodes that dropped said, "I am starting my tour," which I'm going to talk about that on another episode, about getting the verbiage right. I'm actually not officially starting the tour, but I've started booking the shows. If you think about it, around like when the Rolling Stone goes on tour, they're booking shows, but the tour hasn't officially started. When does the tour start? When they play their first show. So when does my podcast influence tour officially start? Well, it's when I speak on my first show. So I'm actually in the booking stage right now. Booking. I'm going to try and get booked on shows. I'll speak more to that on another episode. Anyhow, as a content creator, sometimes I'm in the creative flow and I can record episode after episode and I feel good about them. And sometimes I have the creative block, it feels like. And I've been in the creative block space for 5 or 10 days. And every time I'm in that space, I get nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have no new content to record, no new episodes to record, no new podcast episodes to make, no things to talk about. But I've been through that cycle enough times where I know, oh, don't worry, you'll be inspired to crank out a bunch of content, to batch record some episodes and things like that. And so that's the space I'm in right now, where I'm like, I don't have anything to say. And so on my daily calendar today, I had two main things that I wanted to get done. One was record some podcast episodes, and the other was send out emails, my pod pitch emails, to get to invite myself onto other people's shows. And the thing that I did not want to do the most was record content. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. This is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to suck. I'm going to sound like a fool. I was feeling insecure, thinking I'm going to sound like a fool, and avoiding recording episodes. Like, literally, I would bring my phone with me, I'd bring my microphone with me to different places, and I just wouldn't put the mic in and hit record. I was almost avoiding walking too. I was avoiding doing the things that I usually do when I record. So I walk a lot and I record episodes when I walk. Like right now, I'm not walking, I'm recording this episode. And so on my calendar, I had from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., or it might have been from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., send out pod pitch emails to podcast hosts requesting to be interviewed, right? So I would send the email saying, hey, I want to be interviewed on your show. And then in the afternoon, I had from 4 to 6 p.m. walk and record on the calendar. Now, keep in mind, for the past 10 days, 2 weeks really, I even went on vacation in Canada for 5 days and thought I'd have opportunities to record episodes there. But I have not been walking and recording, even though it's on my calendar. So this morning I was praying and meditating, doing my morning routine, asking God, hey God, what should I do today? How can I serve you? How can I serve my people? And it came to me, switch your calendar up. Walk and record now, 7 a.m. Get out there and walk and record. That's the thing you don't want to do most. That's the thing you need to do first. And then send the emails later. Send them in the afternoon from 2 to 4, or find a different spot on your calendar. But at a minimum, I can do it from 2 to 4. And in that moment, I was so empowered. And I was thinking, yes, that's it. Finish your coffee, make your bed, start the dryer, take the stuff that's already in your clothes dryer, throw it on your bed so you can fold your clothes later. Those are a couple morning routine things that I do. And grab your mic, grab your phone, put on your sunscreen, and start walking and start recording. And as a matter of fact, start recording as soon as you walk out the door. A lot of times when I walk out the door, I'll wait till I get to the park to start recording, because it's generally quieter. There's less street noise. There's no wood chippers or leaf blowers or things like that are on the streets when you're walking. But I thought, you know what? Throw caution to the wind. Start recording right away. And trust that the words will come out. And so, yes, I was like, okay, that's what I'm doing. I, put my shoes on, my socks on, put my sunscreen on, grab my microphone, and plugged in the mic right away, right when I walked out the door. And I'm thinking, yes, it's time to get started. So that's what I did. And I went immediately just to feeling empowered, feeling confident, thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be all right. I went from thinking I don't have enough time in the day to I've got more than enough time today to get everything done. Actually, I was like, literally, I've only got 2 simple things to do. And then I've got all the free time in the world. All I have to do is record some episodes, send out a couple of emails, and bam, the day is mine. So there you have it. Obviously, I've got something to say, and my writing block disappeared. But this is my encouragement to you. Do the thing, do the 1 or 2 things that you least want to do in your day first. Knock those out. Get them done. Commit to that. Literally just say, arrange your calendar so you can do that. That's what I would tell you to do. That's what I've done. That's what I'm doing right now. And I'll try it all week. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling empowered. I'm taking the right actions. I am recording, and I'm thinking, you know what? This is all going to come together, and I know it will. All right, love to all. Do the thing that you don't want to do. Do it first, and have a good day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.